Hello, welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about chapter 18, that is inspection, seizure and arrest. Test your knowledge questions. In that first question, what is there in first question? Explain the situation in which access to business premises is allowed under section 71. Also, list the records which are to be produced during access to business premises. When the GST officers came to your business premises, what are the books that they can access, what are the books you are required to provide. There may be books, some like trial balance, statement of financials, cost audit report, income tax audit report, whatever the any other information, whatever they ask, you must provide that information. So during the course of any proceedings, under this act, that is CGST Act, the duly empowered officer who is having the power can have access to any business premises. He may access any business premises which you may record for the purpose of inquiry. So what is the purpose? For the purpose of inquiry. Doing such access, the officer can inspect books of accounts, documents, computer programs, computer softwares and such other things as may be required. Whatever he required, he will access and he will inspect. It may include books of accounts, documents, computer programs, computer softwares, whatever he want, he will access and inspect the books. Okay, here they will come and ask you. So it is the duty of the person, he is in charge of such premise, in charge of such person who is having the person of in charge, is duty to such premises to furnish required documents. Whatever the documents are asked by the GST empowered officer, person in charge must provide. Similarly, the person in charge of business premises also duty to bound to furnish such documents to the audit party deputed by the proper officer or chartered accountant or chartered cost accountant. So, and if this person in charge also required to submit that, furnish that information related to audit party who is deputed by the proper officer, from whom the persons will be deputed by the proper officer. He may be chartered accountant or cost accountant who is in deputed by the commissioner to carry out the special audit. For who the person is came for special audit, then also is the person in charge is required to provide that information whatever they required. Next, what information is required? The following records are covered by this provision and to be produced if called. If any person is called, they will produce this information. What are that information? The records prepared and maintained by the registered person and declared to the proper officer in the prescribed manner. What are the records required? What are your records prepared and maintaining by the registered person? That books is required to produce in front of officer. And trial balance or its equivalent, if you are maintaining the trial balance, or you are maintaining any other format, you should provide that format information. And statement of annual financial statement duly audited, that must be audited by the chartered accountant. Here only chartered accountant, but a special audit will conduct by both chartered accountant or cost accountant. Next, cost audit report if any, this is provided by the cost accountant. Next, income tax audit report if any, and any other relevant records whatever if he asked by the professional officer. Next, second question, what is there in second question? Explain the safeguards provided under section 69 to persons who is placed under arrest. The person is who is in under arrest, what is the safeguards they will take? Means they will before they will arrest the person, and that person will be produced before the magistrate within 24 hours. That is section 69 provides following safeguards to a person who is placed under arrest. There are three types, three safeguards was provided. First one is, if a person is arrested, a cognizable offence, which is cognizable means it is a non-bailable offence. So there is no bail, but that person he must to be he must be informed on the ground of arrest and produced before magistrate within 24 hours. So when you are arresting the person that is related to cognizable offence, must provide the ground for arrest and he must produce that person to magistrate within 24 hours. Next, if a person is arrested for a non-cognizable offence that is related to bailable offence, he shall be admitted to bail or default of bail forwarded to the custody of the magistrate. In cognizable offence you will not get the bail, so first they will inform to the magistrate within 24 hours. In second case they will have a bail. If the lawyer taken come that bail, then they will realize. Next, all arrest must be accordance with the provisions of Code of Criminal Procedures relating to arrest in terms of section 69(3), that is related to safeguards relating to person who was arrested. Next question, third question, who can order for carry out inspection and under what circumstances? If any transactions were suppressed, then he will call for inspection. For example, as per section 67, inspection can be carried out by any officer, by an officer. It may be CGST or HGST only upon written authorization given by the officer of the rank of Joint Commissioner or above. So if any person want to inspect the books of accounts of the registered person, he must have authorization from the officer of rank of Joint Commissioner or above. The Joint Commissioner or an officer higher in the rank can give such authorization only if he has a reason to believe, that the person concerned has done one of the following. If he has done the following, that is suppressed any transaction of supply, or suppressed stock of goods in hands. So if he suppressed any transactions or if he suppressed stock in goods, then that person order for inspection and officer will inspect the books of accounts. Next, if any person claimed excess input tax credit, excess credit tax or contravened any provisions of CGST Act to avoid tax. Here 4 points, first 4 points will related to suppressed any transaction of supply or suppressed stock of goods in hands, claimed excess input tax credit or contravened any provisions of the Act, CGST Act to avoid tax. This is related to that registered person. If any transporter or an owner or operator of warehouse, these persons must maintain their client's information even if they are not registered. So the person transporter or owner operator of warehouse, godowns or any other place has kept goods which have been escaped payment of tax or has kept his account or goods in manner that are lost to cause evasion of tax. So if the warehouse person is not provided the information or they are keeping the tax to evasion of tax, that persons, these all are persons related to these transactions when officer may go for inspection as per section 67. Next, question number 4. What is there in question number 4? Who can order for search and seizure under provisions of CGST Act? In last question, section 67 deals with inspection. Now search and seizure, that is related to any officer of the rank of Joint Commissioner or above can authorize an officer in writing to carry out the search and seizure. What he search and seizure? Then goods, documents, books or things. Carry out the search and seizure for goods, documents, books or things. Such authorization can be given only where the Joint Commissioner or an officer above his rank has reason to believe that any goods liable to confiscation. If he is in liable to confiscation, then he will order for search and seizure. If there is a transaction for suppression or contravention, then he will give for inspection. If confiscation or any documents or goods, things relevant for any proceedings are hidden in any place, then then the joint commissioner or an officer above his rank can himself search and seize such goods, documents or books or things. This is the case where came for search and seizure. And in last question it is related to inspection. When we will get for inspection, when there is a reason to believe that separation of any transaction or stock of goods in hand claimed excess ITC or contravened any provisions of CGST Act, or transporter is not provided the information due to that the person is evasion of tax. Next, that is related to fifth question. Next, fifth question, describe the powers that can be exercised by officer during valid search. If person is searching, what are the powers is there for that officer? The officer. Question number 5, an officer carrying out a search has the power to search for and seize goods. He has a power to search and seize where which are liable to confiscation. He may seize for that goods and documents, books or things that is relevant for any proceedings under the CGST Act from the premises searched. So you are going through search. In that search, if any goods which is liable for confiscation, that is documents or books or anything, then that books will be seized. Doing the search, the officer has the power to break open the doors of the premises authorized to be searched if access to the same is denied. If any person is not opening the doors for the purpose of search or seizure, then the officer has power to break that doors. Premises authorized to be searched if access the same denied. If any person is not opening the door, then officer will break down the door and he will carry out the search. There is no problem. He has full powers for breaking the doors. Next, similarly, while carrying out search within the premises, he can break open any almara or box. If access to such almara or box is denied, and in which any goods, accounts, register or documents are suspected to be cancelled. He can also seal the premises if access is to denied. Even he can break the almaras and lockers or boxes, whatever the boxes. If he is intention that any person is denying to open, or he is treating option that he has treating that there is information relating to goods, accounts, register or documents, then he can also see the premises of if access. What are the powers is there for search? He can search for power for search and seize for goods if there is liable for confiscation, and he has power to break the doors if any person denied, and if he is power to break almaras or boxes, whatever, if any person denied to open, and he can also seal the premises if accessed. That is the powers of for the person who went for search. Next question, sixth question, discuss the responsibilities of the person to whom summons has been issued. Someone is issued to attend either any person or authorized representative persons. That is, a person who is issued summons is legally bound. To attend either in person or an authorized representative, and he is bound to state the truth before the officer. He is bound to tell the truth before the officer who has issued the summons upon any subject which is the subject matter of examination, and to produce such documents and other things as may required. So here, who is the person is issued summons, he must legally bound. He may attend that person or in authorized representative, and he is bound to tell the truth before the officer who has been issued summons upon any subject which is the subject matter of examination, and he is required to produce documents whatever the officers require. So he must provide the truth before the officer, and whatever the documents required, he must produce the document. He may attend either in person or authorized representative. That is question number 6. Next, question number 7. Explain the meaning of arrest. Explain the meaning of arrest. Here, the term arrest has not been defined in the CGST Act. CGST Act. So, we will go for general rules. Question number 7. The term arrest has not been defined in the CGST Act. However, as per judicial pronouncement, it denotes the taking into custody of a person under some lawful command or authority. In other words, a person is said to be arrested when he has taken and restrained of his liberty by power or color of lawful variant. That is known as arrest. Arrest means what? It is not defined in GST Act. However, as per judicial pronouns, it means it has the taking into custody of a person under some lawful command or authority. If command or authority, or in other words, a person is said to be arrested when he is taken or restrained of his liberty by power or color of lawful warrant. Next, question number 8. What is there in question number 8? State the circumstances when the proper officer can authorize the arrest of any person under the CGST Act. When will the person will be arrested? That is, the commissioner of CGST can authorize the CGST officer to arrest a person if, what is this? If he has reason to believe that the person has committed an offence attracting a punishment prescribed under section 132(1) A, B, C, D or section 132(2). That is, next, this is essential means that a person can be arrested only where the tax evasion is more than 2 crores. If the tax evasion is more than 2 crores, then he is liable for arrest. And the offences are specified offences, namely making supply without any invoice, or issue invoice without any supply, or amount collected as tax but not paid to government. These 3 cases, where first case is related to supply without invoice. He is doing the supply but he is not issuing the invoice, or issuing the invoices but there is no supply, or amount collected as tax but he is not paying to the government beyond a period of 3 months, and taking ITC without receiving the goods and services. He is taking the ITCs but the goods was not received. However, the monetary limit shall not be applicable if the offences are committed again even after being convicted earlier. So if you are doing for first time, then they will see for 2 crores monetary limit. If you were committed for second time, they will not see for 2 crores. Even though 1 rupee has convicted, you will go for arrest. That is, repeat offenders of the specified offences can be arrested irrespective of the tax amount involved in the case.